Okay, guys, I'm just gonna tell you that you should be expecting to take a test on Friday, December 11th, and that test is going to cover chemical and physical properties, chemical and physical change, signs of a chemical reaction, conservation of mass, including just very simple balancing a chemical equation and open versus closed systems. All of the work that we've been doing to lead up into this test should have totally prepared you for the test that's going to be on Friday. If you want to go back and review some of the topics and assignments and notes that could be helpful to study, you should have some of it in your folder because we started this unit before we left school. But basically, it started on Monday, November 9th. So if you go back into Google Classroom and you review over the notes and assignments starting Monday, November 9th, and then running all the way through where we're at today, then that should help you get prepared. In addition to that, okay, I also have posted for you today a test study guide. So the test study guide you'll be turning in, it will not be due until Friday, the day of the test. But this study guide should really, really help you get prepared for the test. I put quite a few questions on here because I wanted to be as thorough as I possibly could to help you get prepared. But they should be answered very, very quickly because they're true and false and fill in the blank. The nice thing about this study guide is that you'll get a grade back immediately and you can see what you may have had difficulty on if you turn it in early because it is computer graded. So make sure you follow the directions precisely. In other words, if it tells you to fill in a P for physical, fill in a P for physical. Don't write out the word physical because it's computer graded. It will be marked incorrect if you do that. So some true and false questions and some fill in the blank, just identifying elements and compounds. Remember, if it's just got a 1 or 2 letter symbol and the first letter is capital and the second is lowercase, then it's an element that you can find on the periodic table. If it's got a formula with a definite ratio of parts to the whole, like 6 carbon atoms to 22 hydrogens to 11 oxygens, that's going to be your compound. We have questions about physical chemical properties, physical chemical changes, okay? And then getting into a little bit of conservation of mass, signs of a chemical change. Remember your 5 signs. So in this section of the study guide, you have to just match the letter with what's being illustrated. So for example, a magnesium ribbon is held to a flame and a bright light is given off. So you would want to identify if that sign of a chemical change is fizzing and foaming, change in energy, change in odor, unexpected color change, or formation of a precipitate, which is when you mix 2 liquids and get a solid. And again, these are your 5 signs of a chemical change. Once you've identified the sign, like for example, this one is going to be change in energy, temperature increases or decreases, or release of sound, light, etc. This is a release of light energy. You would put a B, a letter B as in boy, in this blank. Okay. Other parts of this assignment, I have models, and this one is asking you which one is the best model for conservation of mass to show that matter is not created or destroyed. Remember, these little symbols represent elements and compounds. So this is a molecular element. So is this. These are 2 different elements. And over here, we have a compound. We have 2 different types of elements that are chemically bonded or touching. So that's a compound. Okay, more conservation of mass questions. This is the only one that will not be graded. And so I'm just going to go over it with you right now. So 3 of the models show, or all of the models show changes. 3 of them represent a chemical change and 1 is physical. Which one is physical? Well, if you look at model 3, you can see you have 2 compounds that are the same and then the bonds are broken and it releases the different elements. So because chemical bonds are broken, that is a chemical change. This one is showing you a new compound being formed where this molecular element broke up and actually attached to this and formed a new compound. These elements joined together to form a new compound. So these are all chemical changes. Model 1 is a physical change. There's no bonds broken, no new bonds formed. The elements are just in a different position than they were before. Okay, so this one is model 1. All right, more conservation of mass. Here you have to balance an equation, just a very simple one to figure out what coefficients go in front of these elements and what coefficient goes in front of the compound in order to make the number of atoms going in equal to the number of atoms coming out. A few questions about open versus closed systems. Okay. And if you have any questions about the study guide or any questions about any further instruction as far as what's on the test, just please let me know.